morning, everyone. We have a very exciting video today. This is a book that I've been wanting to read for ages, but I've been saving it for this video. And every time I see it on my bookshelf, it stares right back at me. But today is the day, baby. Today is the day. I'm reading Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This is one of my favorite book covers, I think. It is so beautiful. The silver, the font, the purple flowers. Do these purple flowers mean anything? We'll find out. I have been itching for like a really good 5-star romantasy for such a long time. Two of my favorite booktubers, Rachel Catherine and Sarah Carolee, they absolutely love this book. And with those two, any book that they love, I also love. I think we've just got very similar book taste. So I don't know, I've got very high hopes for this. What this book is about, from the back of it, this is just a blurb on the back. This is going to be a spoiler-free reading vlog. So there's this kingdom and there's two types of people that live here. There's the elites, and the elites have some sort of superpower. So they've possessed powers for decades, and those powers were gifted to them by something called the plague. And then there's another group of people called the ordinaries. You probably guessed it by the name. The ordinaries, they're ordinary. They don't possess any superpower. And what's kind of happening is the kingdom and the king want to banish all the ordinaries from their kingdom. They only want the elites living there. Our main female character, Payton, she is an ordinary, but she's posing as a psychic. So I think, from my understanding, a psychic is sort of like a lower rank elite, but it's still like an elite, so she should still have a place in the kingdom. So she's posing as one to obviously not get banished. What happens one day is she unsuspectingly saves one of Ilia's princes, Kai Azur. I really like the name. And so what happens is she gets thrown into something called the Purging Trials. It's a brutal competition showcasing the elite's powers. So I sort of get like where the Hunger Games sort of influence may have come in. I don't know how she's gonna survive in these trials if she doesn't have any superpowers. But from my understanding, so the guy that she saves, Kai, who I think will be our love interest, he obviously will be, he is the son of the king, who's wanting to get rid of all the ordinary. So I have no idea how this is gonna sort of pan out. I'm so excited though. I just have good vibes. You know when you just have like a good vibe about a book? Let's get the show on the road. We've got our little homemade latte. How cute is this mug? It's like a handmade ceramic mug with a bunch of hearts on it. I think I'm gonna put on like a Powerless fantasy romance playlist just to kind of get me in the mood. It is such a hot and sunny day here where I am, which is amazing. Like, I'm definitely happy about the sun. But when you're reading like a fantasy romance, you sort of want it to be like gloomy and kind of dark. So definitely not my reading vibe, but still, I'm very happy nonetheless. Thank you. Small reading update. I'm on page 40, and just a few things to note. A, it's written really well. It's interesting from the beginning. It's gripping, and it seems like the way that they sort of tell you about the world and the history is kind of drip fed to you, so you're not just like boom, bombarded with like all this world building information. Sometimes that happens in fantasy, and it's kind of like off-putting because you sort of have to like slug through the first 150 pages. But this one is like instantly interesting. You know the backstory, you understand why the separation has kind of like happened in the kingdom. It's written well, and then I think each chapter flips between Payton's perspective and then to Kai's perspective. So it's nice that you get to be inside of both of their heads. Another small thing to mention, not relevant to the story, but I just like it. So I'm in Kai's chapter here, and he's walking into his father's office, and his father is the king. And it says that the windows are draped in dark green silk, which is Ilia's kingdom color. Let me be a part of this kingdom. I love dark green. I think dark green just looks so like powerful. It's mysterious. I feel like kingdoms are always like a maroon, burgundy, red, or like a navy color. So Lauren Roberts has taste. Thank you for making the kingdom colors dark green. It's giving Slytherin, babes. It's giving Slytherin, and I love it. Guys, my toxic trait is I will always imagine myself as the female main character. Like, I just ignore whatever description they have about her. Like, Peyton has silver hair and dark blue eyes. But all I'm reading is she's got dark brown hair and brown eyes because she looks like me. Does anyone else do this? Please let me know I'm not crazy. Thank you. Hello, so reading update. I'm on page 64. I am loving it so far. It is super fast paced, super interesting, like from the get-go. I really, really love the main character, Peyton. I'm just gonna go out for a coffee with my mom and we might have a look at some bookshops just to see what's around. I don't think I'll buy anything, but I'll just browse. So reading update, I'm on page 90. It really, really reminds me of Throne of Glass, like the first book of Throne of Glass. It's a very sort of similar setting. Like she gets sent off to like these trials. And if you've read the Throne of Glass series, you know that in the first book, Selena gets sent to these trials and she kind of has like a thing with the prince, so the son of the king. Very similar kind of thing, what's happening in here. And also their personalities are very similar. They're kind of like sassy, but not like annoying sassy. They're witty, they're funny. They've got like really good sort of fiery personalities. So very similar. I wonder if she got inspiration from the first Throne of Glass series, because if you have read it and you've also read this, you'll know what I'm talking about. I have to stop reading now because I'm going out for dinner with a couple of my friends. We're gonna get like Korean barbecue. So I'm so excited to eat. I'm gonna eat my body weight in Korean food, so that's gonna be great. And when I get home, I'll do some reading and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye! Good morning, everyone. So it is the next day. And I didn't end up having any time to read last night because I got home around, I think, midnight. Me and my friends were just meant to go out for dinner, but we ended up like staying up all night talking about life. And then I got home and then me and my fiance talked for like an hour. And then it was around like 1 a.m. and I was like, oh, I might get some reading done. I picked up my book, I read like half of a page and then I was like, so no reading done last night. So today's gonna be a big reading day. It is a Sunday. I've got no plans today, so that means gonna get some of this done, which I'm so excited about. Again, it is a super sunny day here in New Zealand, or here where I am in New Zealand, and I love that, but it's not giving me the cozy vibes I want. But that's all good. I might go to the park and read later this afternoon, but I'm just gonna have my morning cup of coffee. I'll make that now and then I'll get some reading done. Guys, I want to be sent to these trials, these purging trials. Like, I know that you have to sort of like fight to the death, but the 2 weeks prior to that, you get to stay in the castle and like you have your own beautiful bedroom. They give you like emerald green silk bathrobes because that's the color of the kingdom. So for that reason alone, I want to go. But you have a maid that helps you get dressed and you get to wear beautiful gowns. And then I think they mentioned there's also going to be like a masquerade or a ball like prior to these purging trials. This is my favorite thing about fantasy. I love, love, love any scene like with it. Like the fighting scenes, not so much. I kind of like force myself to get through them unless they're like a really good fighting scene. But my favorite thing about them is when they're in the castle and then there's like a masquerade ball going on or some sort of ball is going on to wear the gowns. And I love the descriptions of the dresses that they're wearing. And then they get to feast and just kind of walk around the castle. Like that is my favorite part of a fantasy romance. I live for it. and I'm really enjoying it so far. Why didn't you guys tell me my hair looked shit? I just took it out of the plait. Easy like a Sunday morning. Do you think I'll get copyrighted for singing that? Because I just sang it so beautifully and so like on pitch. Every time I read in this position, my dog gives me the biggest side eye. Hey guys, I'm home from the gym. I just did like a 30-minute incline walk, a hot girl walk if you will, and just some random like leg workouts. I exercised for like an hour overall, which is a bit more than I usually do. I said this already in one of my videos, but whenever I read like a fantasy romance, there's always like some sort of battle, or in this case, there's like a trial where the main character needs to train for it. And whenever I read something like that, it always inspires me and motivates me to go to the gym or exercise, because it makes me think that I'm training for this. So I had a great workout, so thanks Powerless. So I'm just home now. I've got my little protein yogurt granola peanut butter bowl, and I'm gonna do some more reading. I'm currently on page 200. And you guys, it is so good. This book has me giggling, blushing, and kicking my feet. The banter between the main characters is just exquisite. And there's also there's not really a love triangle, but there's definitely a bit of, there's a little some. Definitely recommend reading this if you haven't already. I will not say any more. I will not comment any further. I'm gonna eat my yogurt and do some more reading. Good morning. So it is the next day, and I read about like 50 pages last night and then I fell asleep. So I'm on page 248. So I'm on chapter 28, and it's getting really good. It took quite a while for them to like get into the purging trials, so now they're in the trials. I'm really enjoying it. Again, really fast paced. I'm never bored in this book. I honestly have no idea how this is gonna pan out. Like, to see when Kai is gonna find out that Peyton isn't ordinary. Honestly, I've got no idea. For some reason, and this is not a spoiler because that has not been said in the back, this is just my theory, I think she's not an ordinary. I think she's got some power, like a secret power that she's not aware of, and that it's gonna like accidentally come out in these trials and she's gonna shock herself. I don't know, that's just my theory. If it does come true, I'll be very proud of myself, because oftentimes my theories are never accurate. Oh, sometimes they are. Sometimes I get things right. Okay, I'm babbling. I'm gonna make myself a coffee. I think I'm gonna do an iced coffee today. That's what I'm feeling. Okay, so we've got our iced coffee. She's beautiful. Let's do a taste test. Oh, honestly, if you haven't got yourself an espresso machine, you should definitely get one, because they are an investment. They are a lifesaver. I hardly ever buy coffees out and about, just like on a Saturday sometimes. Saves you a lot of money in the long run, and it tastes so good. I'm exactly halfway through the book. I think it's 500 pages and I'm basically on page 250. I am gonna finish this today. It is gonna be a big reading day because I've got today off work, but then tomorrow I'm back in the office. And I know when I'm back in the office, I'm just a bit too busy to read like as much. So I'm gonna commit today to reading this and I'm so excited. It's not as sunny or as hot today, it's a bit more gloomy and it's just giving me that like reading vibe, so. Hey guys, reading update. I'm on chapter 39, which is page 348. So I've got just about like 150 pages left. And I am loving it. Like at the halfway mark, it just kept getting like better and better. And the author is like perfectly setting up what is gonna happen in book 2. So this is gonna be a trilogy. For some reason, I thought it was just gonna be like a duology, just 2 books, but no, it is gonna be a 3-book series. I wonder when the second one's gonna come out. And I hope it doesn't end on a cliffhanger. Oh, it probably will though. You guys, it is so good. She's added some sort of twists and kind of, I don't know, there's a few things in here that I have no idea how they're gonna pan out in book 2. I don't know what the author is up to. I've got no idea if she's gonna pull like a Sarah J Maas on me. Like if you've read ACOTAR, you know what I mean when I say she pulls a Sarah J Maas. The first trial has happened and the second one is about to start. I wonder what's gonna happen in the second trial. I'm also really happy because for a moment in the book, it was very like too romance heavy, like, which is great. It's like, I love the romance, but I needed to see more like of the fantasy element. I needed more of like the politics and what's happening between the 2 groups of people, like the elites and the ordinaries. I wanted, you know, I want to see like what's going to happen in book 2 and 3, or at least just get some sort of idea, but the author is really setting it up nicely for book 2, so loving it. I can't believe this is her first book, so this is her debut novel. That is insane. Finished. I'm sorry, I didn't update you guys for like the last 150 pages or so, just because the ending, like especially the last 100 pages, I could not put the book down. It was intense, very action heavy, which I'm very happy about. I needed like a big sort of action breakout scene and I got that. Oh, what a book. It was so fantastic. I was sitting on my rating for like the last hour and I think I was tossing up between a 4 or a 4.5, but I think I'm gonna go with a 4 stars for now. If I continue to think about these characters and like this world in the next couple of months, I'll bring that up to a 4.5, but I think I'm gonna give it a 4 stars. It was a fantastic fantasy romance, really lovable characters, great storyline. It was interesting, and I'm very excited to see what's gonna happen in book 2 and 3 because again, the way that it was set up for the next book is looking very promising and really good. The only reason it's not like a 4.5 or a 5 star for me is just because at times it was a little bit repetitive. So with the 2 main characters, Hayden and Kai, there was a lot of like sort of flirting and banter between them to the point that it was a little bit repetitive, and I would have actually preferred less. I really do think less is more sometimes, and it would have kept me more hooked on that sort of tension between them. But it was just at times I felt it was a bit too much and could have had a little bit less. I think the author knew what the TikTok, Booktok community wants, like in terms of tropes and like kind of those lines that you always hear, like the "who did this to you" trope. But nonetheless, it was so good. I feel like her next book is gonna possibly be a 5 star because I'm so excited to see what's gonna happen. And for me, the sequel is always a 5 star. Usually, sometimes it slips, but most of the time the sequel is better because you know the characters, there's always like really good character development and just like, I don't know, a lot more action-based. But besides that, it was a fantastic read. I highly, highly, highly recommend. And if you're someone who hasn't read a lot of fantasy romance, this is the perfect one. It would like 1000% get you into the fantasy romance genre. I absolutely loved it. It was so good, and I cannot wait for her next book. It's coming out in May, I think, and it's called Reckless. I will say I loved the last chapter, and like it was from a different perspective. So it follows Kai and Peyton, but the last chapter of this book is from a different point of view. And I really hope that his point of view is going to be a main one in the second book. So I'm so excited to see what's going to happen. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like this video and subscribe and leave a comment if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!